Alright, hello everyone, this is Lye Yosh. Welcome back to Life Study Library. Today we're going to be talking about relationships, and if you've been in a relationship before, you'll know how funky it sometimes can get. And these funky issues that arise in a relationship is not easily detected, especially if you're the direct participant of the relationship, because your mind cannot think correctly and calmly during a heated relationship compared to like an indirect member. So you look at other couples and be like, how are they still dating? Like, how do they not know that their relationship is failing? But when things turn to your relationship, you'll not be able to think clearly. There are many indicators that represents the quality of a relationship, whether it's failing or whether it's a healthy relationship. These indicators include things like behavior or verbal interaction. But the problem with these indicators is that it doesn't last in history. You might forget what you said or what the other person has said. Much more of a better source of indicator is the conversation through text, mainly because texts will last and will be there, which will serve as a much better source of finding if the relationship is succeeding or failing. But then for a lot of people, it's still difficult to see if the relationship they're having is healthy or not. Like, are there specific keywords that you need to look out for? And science says there is. The indicator that you can see in text in order to tell if you're having a good romantic relationship is to look if the opponent frequently uses the word we instead of I. Likewise, in this channel, I'm going to be talking about these interesting scientific and psychological information by implementing data from scientific studies. So if you feel like you're interested in watching this video and want to watch more of my past and future content, then please subscribe to my channel, which will support me a lot and will make me really happy. So thank you for subscribing and enjoy the video. Okay, so before I even start talking about this study, I want you to know that this indicator of using we instead of I is a very situational subject. So just because your partner is not using we frequently doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is failing, but it still serves as a generally accurate indicator of whether your relationship is healthy or not. And in order to clarify the ambiguity, a meta-analysis was done to examine the relationship between using the word we instead of I, aka the we talk. So instead of saying something like, because I have a busy day at work, I want to have some time in the evening to myself, we talk is something like, I know that we both have a busy day, so it might be good for us to have some time to relax alone before meeting up. So that's basically what we talk is, using we instead of I. And the study looked at how the use of this we talk and the overall health of the relationship were correlated. And the meta-analysis examined 30 different studies with a total of 5,288 samples. And it examined the results of using we talk from these 30 different studies and categorized every possible outcomes into 5 distinct items, which are relationship outcomes, relationship behaviors, physical and mental health, and other health behaviors. And the objective of the study was to see if the use of we talk generally computed positive outcomes in a romantic relationship. And they also wanted to see if the studies they looked at produced any altered results due to specific variables. For example, if the frequency of the use of we talk differed among men and women, it might alter the results, because if females used we talk 5 times in a conversation where men only used 1 time, the females might think that the relationship is failing because the boyfriend is using we talk just once. But if men are generally satisfied by just using we talk once, then he's completely oblivious to the girlfriend's requirements. And she might report that the relationship is failing, even though in reality it's fine. So the meta-analysis has put situations like this into consideration when examining the studies. And after their careful examination and elimination of the unexpected variables, the researchers came to a conclusion that we talk and overall relationship functioning showed a significant positive correlation. So the more frequently couples use the word we or us or anything that's associated with that, the better their relationship generally got. And despite the different qualities of the relationship depending on the couple, so like the length of the relationship or the stability, we talk had a significant positive correlation with relationship outcomes, relationship behaviors, mental health, and health behaviors. So 4 of the 5 categories in the study met significant positive correlation with we talk. So what the result is implying is that we talk influences the notion of interdependence, the concept that couples strengthen their relationship satisfaction through sharing interactions and experiences. So using we or us rather than I or you when conversing indicates shared or merged identity. It signals that my behavior or thoughts are influenced by the partner and I cherish that and value it. And we talk signals this. Because you value this, you try to understand and support your partner. And the result also showed particularly strong correlation in relationship outcomes and health behaviors, meaning that frequent use of we talk was strongly correlated when couples were discussing a conflict in their relationship or when they were dealing with a health problem. And especially in situations like this, it's important to show that you value your merged identity with the partner, and you can express that through the use of we talk. So the next time you and your partner discusses any issues that's going on in the relationship, particularly health issues, so maybe an example is one of you gets sick or something, try to notice how frequently your partner refers to the relationship as we. You might want to be on the lookout if your partner or husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend says something like, well, I'm busy at work and I come home very tired, so I need to have some time for myself and my hobbies. In contrast, if the partner says something like, I'm aware that we're both busy during the day, and we usually come back very tired, and I want us to stay together for a long time, which is why we should have time for ourselves within the day to refresh in order to make the time we spend together more meaningful and happy. This would be a great sign that your partner really cherishes the relationship and thinks of you as a special person and not as a regular, permanent part of life. And the use of this in text not only serves as a clear reference to count, but might indicate signs of support and care in an indirect conversation. And also, considering the effects it can have on both you and your partner, it's not just enough to check for signs of we talk from your partner, but you also have to do this yourself. By initiating we talk and making it a habit, it might signal your partner to hone the habit as well, which will positively correlate with the mental health for both sides of the relationship and influence behaviors, which leads to positive relationship outcomes. Because you are initiating that you care about your committed relationship, and because you are able to see that your partner is also signaling that through we talk, you're able to attain a feeling of security about your relationship, which will improve mental health. And because you have a stable mental health, it'll lead to improved relationship behaviors, which will result in the overall improved relationship. And honestly, you can just explain this whole study to your partner and make it so that both of you are intentionally trying to make we talk a habit. That's a much quicker way to do it, in my opinion. And although the study doesn't really talk about this, considering that the effects it can have on relationships are not strictly related to romantic ones, this might be effective in non-romantic relationships as well, for example, friends. Since we talk correlates with signs of support and indicate that you care about making the relationship last long and well, you might be able to notice the use of we talk in friendship as well. Obviously not as frequently as romantic relationship, but it might still compute a positive result. So that was pretty much it for this video. So the next time you talk with your significant other through text, try to be on the lookout for the frequency of your partner's use of words like we or us, or anything that indicates the relationship as a conjoined single entity. If you have a good memory, like not me, you might be able to take count during your in-person conversation, but I highly suggest you to focus more on the indirect conversation through text. And if you figure out that your partner doesn't really use we talk, and if you want to cherish the relationship, you should tell your partner, hey, a channel named Life Study Library suggested couples to use words like we or us when referring to the relationship, because it'll benefit the quality of the relationship and make us bond even better. Speaking of which, baby, I strongly recommend this YouTube channel, Life Study Library, where it talks about these interesting scientific and psychological information by implementing data from scientific studies. And I really like it, and I think you should really consider subscribing to it. It's so beneficial, it's so educational, it's so cool, it's so fun. Okay, I'm gonna stop this skit. But yeah, anyway, so for the lovebirds out there, this is a humble suggestion from your boy, Yosh. And also, before I take off, I know that in this video I've talked about a solution to a solvable issue, but there are traits out there that are actually really, really toxic, and you'll be better off just excluding yourself from it. And with friendship in particular, there are these behavior traits that are just automatic red flags, and these people will do no good to you. And I'm gonna make a video about this soon, which will be called Toxic Signs to Look Out For in a Friendship. And I don't know if I made any videos covering the topic of toxic traits in a romantic partner, so I am gonna make the video as soon as possible. But until then, there are plenty of my videos to watch, which are all available if you subscribe to my channel. You have been listening to Life Study Library, hosted by me, Lye Yosh. And I will see you in my other videos. Bye now.